part of our world. We're going to talk about the 3 strategies to grow your business. There's only really 3 major things that we can do, 3 strategies that we can do. Now, everything else is a subset of those 3 things. And if you want to grow your business, we need to constantly looking at these 3 things every day. You need to be saying, how can I do this? How can I do this? Or how can I do this? And we really want to chunk them into these 3 major things, because all of you need to have a small business. All of you need to learn how to make more money. Now, I don't really care if you have a job and you're working for someone else and your goal is to make more money for the operation. Remember, to make more money, you need to solve bigger problems. You need to add more value, and you need to study successful people and see how they did it. Now, when you study successful people, then it gives you ideas of what you can do. One example is Walt Disney. Walt Disney created Disneyland, but you have to connect the dots going backwards. Walt Disney came up with the idea for Disneyland from Tivoli Gardens in Denmark. Okay, so here's a wonderful amusement park that's was around for many, many years before Disneyland ever was created. Walt had started creating these wonderful stories, these cartoons, and he was in the movie business. And he got a chance to travel, and they stopped at Tivoli Gardens, which is in Copenhagen. And it's this beautiful, beautiful amusement park, and it was clean. The people were happy. They served great food. I mean, it was a great family atmosphere. And Walt said, you know what? I love what they're doing, because in America, the model was Coney Island. And Coney Island was a big carnival, games of chance. Those games were rigged so that you would lose. They looked like you could win, but in reality, there was something wrong with it that made it so that you had a really hard time winning, kind of a bait and switch. It was dirty. And, he didn't want anything like that, but he saw Tivoli Gardens and said, that is a very different thing. Now I want to take what they're doing, which is clean, family centered, and I want to take my content, which is the content of the stories that he was telling and the movies and things like that. And I want to make something similar to that, but using my content. So that's how we learn from other people. Now, as we talk about the 3 major strategies, there's 3 major strategies to grow your business. And every day you should be getting up and you're saying, well, how do I really increase our business? Well, there's 3 things. Number 1 is to get more customers. Let me start again. So there's 3 strategies. Here's the 3 strategies. Number 1 is more customers. That's the most expensive thing you can do, is to find more customers. Number 2 is to get them to buy more. Every time they buy something, how do you get them to buy more? And number 3 is to buy more often. Those are the 3 major things that everything works on. How do I get more customers? And when they do buy, how do I get them to increase the amount of what they're buying? And number 3 is, how do I get them to buy more often? So I'm going to give you an example. We're just going to make this very simple so you can see how dramatic this can be. But let's say that you have, and I'm just going to use a small number to make it very easy, but you got 100 customers. And when they buy, let's say that they buy, 50, and this can be 50 pesos, dollars, yuan, whatever it is, and they buy once a year. Well, if you take 100 times 50, that's going to be a 5. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3 zeros. That's $5,000 or yuan or whatever it is in revenue. So what most people do is they go, I'm going to go out and figure out how to get 200 customers, but customers are usually expensive to find. But if I did get 200 and they still only bought 50 one time, then you've doubled your income. You've gone up to 10,000 because you have more customers. But the most expensive thing that you can do is to acquire a new customer, especially if you have to do media and marketing. Now, the third one to that is, let's go back to that same 100, but this time, instead of buying at 50, we're going to get them to buy at 100, meaning there's more products and services that are appropriate for what we're doing. And we're going to get them to buy twice a year. Okay, so if you take the numbers right there, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. There's the zeros right there times the 2. So look how that has just dramatically increased our revenue. That same number of clients, but they bought more. Every time they bought more. And we got them to buy twice a year versus one time a year. Now your total revenue, your gross revenue has gone from 5,000 to 20,000. So the key to creating a business is to nail it and then scale it. Get your systems down so that you can add more and more people to it without changing your system. The McDonald's system on their hamburgers, the French fries never burn because they've created a system to force it to be right. And once they got that prototype done, which the McDonald's brothers did in California, then they were able to duplicate it again, and again. So if we were able to also get 200 customers now, and we got them to buy at 100, and we got them to buy 5 times a year, well, let's see, 2 times 1, that's a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That's that 20,000 times that 5 right there. Just look at how our gross revenue went up by doing those 3 things. So the point on this is that as you're doing your businesses, I want you to be thinking every day of these 3 strategies. How can I get more customers? But that's not the most important part. The most important part is how can I sell them more things that they need? How can I add more value? How can I create other products that are appropriate? And then how do I get them to buy more often? They need to buy more than once a year, twice a year, once a week, twice a week, whatever it is. That's how you take your revenue from, in this example, from 5,000 to 100,000 by pulling on those 3 levers. So every day you're going to think of your business, and I don't care if you're working for somebody or if you've got your own businesses, your job is to be valuable to your employer or to your business. Because when tough times come, the employer's going to stick with the people who stuck with them. They're going to stick with the people that add more value. Your job is to make it more valuable. Your job is to help that business become successful. And then you will get rewarded. Now, if you don't get rewarded, then go find somebody that will reward you or go do it yourself. We have wonderful classes that go all through business. There's a whole section that Michael Gerber is on, that Jay Abraham's on. These are people that I've worked with that have wonderful materials that I learned from. And this is something that can help you as well. So get those small businesses going. Let's get that top line revenue up. And we're going to be right back. We're going to talk about the 25 ways that you can make more money at your businesses. These are the 25 ACE, the Academy for Creative Enterprises, tips on how, whatever you got your business, you can make more money with it. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back, and we're going to go to our next section on the 25 ways to make more money with your business. Thanks for watching.